Okay, so think about any relationship, right? Any connection that really means something to you. What's the sort of invisible glue holding it together?
Yeah, what is that?
9 times out of 10, I bet it boils down to trust, doesn't it?
Absolutely, trust. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into today, this really essential piece, trust in our relationships.
Hmm.
We were listening to this great discussion over on the Wasi show, and it really got us thinking, why trust isn't just nice to have.
Right, not just a bonus feature.
No, it's like absolutely necessary, foundational.
Yeah, so our mission today really is to unpack that. What does trust actually mean, in a relationship, and why is it just so critical?
It's everything.
It really feels like it is. It's the base layer. The conversation we heard, it used this really powerful image.
The house one?
Yeah, the house. Imagine
Yeah.
love, chemistry, all that good stuff as this beautiful house.
Okay.
But if you don't have trust, it's like you built that gorgeous place right on the sand.
Oh, wow.
Looks amazing for a bit, maybe, but it's just so vulnerable, it's not going to last.
That analogy is just, it's spot on, isn't it? It shows how shaky everything is without trust.
Totally shaky.
And we need to understand, trust isn't only believing what someone says. It's not just taking their words literally.
No, it's deeper.
It's much deeper. It's a feeling, a sense of security, like an emotional foundation.
Okay, emotional foundation. Like what?
Well, it means feeling safe,
Yeah.
Safe enough to be completely you,
Yeah.
to show your flaws, your worries, all of it,
Mm.
without, like, constantly fearing judgment or that it'll be used against you somehow.
That's huge.
It is. And it's also knowing, like deep down knowing that your partner has your back, that they care about your well-being.
Like they're in your corner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially when things get tough.
Right. So, okay, flip side. What happens if that trust isn't there or gets broken?
It's corrosive. It's like water slowly wearing away stone, but inside the relationship,
Yeah.
insecurity starts creeping in.
Oh, yeah.
Doubt is just sort of humming in the background all the time. And fear can really settle in.
You start second guessing everything.
Totally. You find yourself maybe analyzing every little word, every action, looking for the hidden meaning, the catch.
That sounds exhausting.
It is exhausting.
Yeah.
And that feeling you might have had at the start, the lightness, the fun,
Yeah.
it turns heavy, really heavy.
Ugh. Okay, so in this deep dive, then, we want to really get into the specifics. What actually builds trust? What are the actions, the ingredients?
Exactly. What builds it,
Mm-hmm.
and just as importantly, what happens when it's missing? What's the real impact?
So what are those fundamental building blocks? How does trust actually grow?
Right. Let's get into that. How is this foundation actually laid? Because the conversation we were looking at,
Right.
it really drove home that trust isn't, it's not this instant thing.
Not a thunderbolt moment.
No, not at all. It's not some grand gesture either. It's something that's nurtured. It grows stronger over time through like a buildup of small things, consistent everyday actions. Seems almost mundane sometimes.
Okay, consistent little things. Like
Sure.
what sort of things are we talking about?
Well, it's fascinating actually how these small consistent acts become the pillars holding everything up. Think about just doing what you say you'll do.
Simple reliability.
Simple, but powerful.
Mm.
If you say you'll meet someone, you meet them. If you offer help, you follow through. That consistency, it just speaks volumes,
Yeah.
right? About your respect for them, your character.
It shows you value their time, their expectations.
Exactly. And honesty,
Mm.
even when it's tough.
Oh, especially when it's tough, maybe.
Yeah, maybe especially then. Telling the
Yeah.
truth, even if it's awkward or uncomfortable, that shows real integrity. Respect for the truth within the relationship.
Okay. Wow.
And listening, like really listening.
Not just waiting to talk.
Right, actively tuning in, trying to understand their perspective, showing you hear them. That makes someone feel so seen, valued.
Feeling heard is huge.
And respecting boundaries, that's another big one. Knowing and honoring someone's limits, their personal space, their needs. It shows you value them as an individual.
Okay, so it's not like a one and done deal. You don't just achieve trust.
No, definitely not. It's an ongoing practice, a daily choice, really.
A choice.
Yeah, choosing to act in ways that consistently show your partner, hey, I'm reliable, I'm honest, I respect you. You demonstrate it through actions again and again. You prove you're someone they can actually count on.
So it's about the pattern, not just the single instance.
Precisely. The pattern is the proof.
Which brings up a good point for you listening. Think about your own key relationships. Do you feel that sort of baseline emotional safety?
Hmm. Can you be truly open? Like, really let your guard down?
Yeah, without constantly worrying, oh, what will they think? Or are they judging me?
Do you feel like genuinely seen
Yeah.
and heard and respected for just being you?
Those feelings, or maybe the lack of them, they're probably pretty direct signs of how much trust is actually there, right?
Absolutely. They're like the emotional temperature check.
And then there's the other side of the coin, looking inward.
Yes. Self-reflection time.
Are you yourself creating that kind of safe space for your partner? Are you being the trustworthy one?
Or, and the source material kind of touched on this, are you maybe unintentionally projecting,
Projecting what?
like past hurts,
Uh,
old baggage,
hmm.
onto the current situation? Maybe seeing negativity where it isn't actually intended, jumping to conclusions.
Ooh, that's tricky. Because our past definitely shapes how we see the present.
It absolutely does. And that's a critical point.
Yeah.
Our ability, our capacity to trust someone else, it's often really tied up with our own internal stuff,
Our history.
our history, yeah. Any old wounds we're still carrying around, things that haven't healed.
So dealing with your own stuff is part of being able to trust someone else?
It can be a massive part. Doing that work, healing those personal hurts,
Mm-hmm.
it can be absolutely vital if you want to be able to fully give trust and also fully receive it in your current relationship.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It's not just about the other person's actions, but your own readiness.
Exactly. Both sides matter.
And, the source also talked about the reality of trust being broken, which just, it hurts a lot.
It can be incredibly painful,
Yeah.
devastating even.
Yeah. But the point they made wasn't to, build walls so high no one can ever get in again.
Right. Not to let that pain shut you down
But
completely.
instead, it's like, okay, this happened. It was painful. What did I learn?
Use it as information. A really tough lesson maybe, but a lesson about what you truly need, what you deserve going forward.
And that the right person, someone who genuinely gets you and values you, they will be honest consistently.
Yeah, it won't be this constant guessing game. You won't have to perpetually question their integrity.
Mm.
It will just be there, demonstrated.
So it's interesting, this connection between the external actions being reliable, honest, and the internal work healing your own stuff.
It really is an interplay, isn't it? Building trust isn't just about how you behave towards your partner.
Yeah.
It's also about the work you do on yourself. Becoming someone who is, one, trustworthy, and two, actually capable of trusting others.
Which leads perfectly into that quote, that thought from the discussion we heard. It really stuck with me.
Which one?
Love without trust is like a car without gas.
Ah, yes. That one's powerful.
You can stay in it all you want, but it won't go anywhere.
So simple, but man, does it hit home.
Yeah.
It just perfectly shows how essential trust is if the relationship is going to have any real forward motion.
Yeah, you're just stuck, sitting there. Looks like a relationship maybe, but it's not moving.
Exactly. It captures that idea perfectly.
Mhm.
Attraction, affection, maybe that love feeling gets you in the car together.
Sure.
But trust, that's the fuel. That's what actually makes the journey possible and meaningful and lasting.
Without it, you're just idling forever. Eventually, you run out of, everything.
You do. The relationship just stagnates, no matter how intense the feelings were at the beginning.
Okay, so wrapping this deep dive up then, let's quickly recap those key takeaways.
Good idea.
Building trust. It's not instant. It's slow. It's gradual. Built piece by piece.
Right. Through those consistent, small, everyday things, showing up,
Being honest.
really listening.
Respecting boundaries. All that stuff. It's a choice you make again and again.
A daily practice, not a one-off achievement. And what does that build?
It builds that feeling of emotional safety. That's the core of it, right?
Absolutely. The safety to be open, to be vulnerable, without that constant fear of judgment.
And feeling truly seen and heard and just respected for who you actually are.
Mm-hmm. And remember, it goes both ways.
Right. Trust is reciprocal. It's not just about getting it. It's about giving it, about being someone who actively creates that safe space for your partner too.
You have to be the trustworthy person you want to have.
And that internal work we talked about, dealing with past hurts, that's crucial for being able to fully trust and be trusted.
Don't underestimate the power of healing your own history.
And if you've been hurt by broken trust, yeah, it's painful. Acknowledge that pain.
For sure. But hold on to the hope, the understanding, that the right partner will prioritize honesty. It won't be something you have to fight for.
And that analogy, go say it again, Love without trust is like a car without gas.
Stuck,
Mhm.
going nowhere. It just highlights how fundamental it is.
So the goal then, for all of us, maybe, is to try and build our connections on something solid.
Solid foundations.
Yeah, built with consistent, caring actions, not just relying on fleeting feelings or, empty words.
Actions really do speak louder when it comes to trust.
And if you are in a situation right now where trust feels like it's missing or it's been damaged.
Remember, communication is key.
Oh,
Try to
yeah.
talk about it openly, maybe seek help if needed, work on healing.
Or sometimes you might need to make other choices, difficult ones maybe, but choices that protect your own peace and well-being.
Right. You have to prioritize yourself too.
Because honestly, at the end of it all, trust isn't just, important for a relationship. It feels like it's everything. It's the whole foundation. It's the air it breathes. Without it, it just can't survive healthily.
Well said. It really is fundamental.
So maybe a final thought to leave you with.
Yeah.
Strive for love, yes, but strive for love that feels real, steady, kind, and make sure it's built on that solid, unwavering bedrock of trust.
Because it's only in that truly safe space.
Yeah.
The space created by trust. That real connection, lasting connection, can actually grow and flourish. That's where the good stuff happens.